Welcome, stamping friends. It's Marilyn here with Stamping Creations with Marilyn, coming to you from Spruce Grove, Alberta, Canada. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator who loves doing stamping and crafting and creating with you. So I hope that you will join me and make a card or two and share them with me. I love seeing what others do as well and love seeing your comments, concerns, questions, everything on my Facebook group, on my website, which I do have, and you can find all of that by just going to my social media things and whatever. So please join me. I welcome everyone who has been here before and everyone who's new. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It is a nice sunny day here in Spruce Grove today, and I did have a porch visit with my cousin this morning, so that was really nice. From a distance, of course, because things are getting a lot worse here in Alberta for COVID, and somehow we hope to be a part of the solution, not the problem. So we are keeping our distance and doing lots of things like this, like on Zoom and those kind of things. I do have card classes that I do there, so if you ever want to join those, let me know as well. So today I am going to be making a card with a stamp set that is retiring. I think I mentioned that in my earlier posts. But before we get to that, I would just like to point out that I do have, I'm still learning this, a host code here. It's a new host code for April, and you will see it in other places as I'm doing this. I also have new catalogs have arrived, so I will be getting them ready to send out shortly. If I sent one directly from Stampin' Up to you, again, you should be getting it shortly, and I will be sending emails to everyone with a scavenger hunt and a wish list and some classes I'm holding, those kind of things. Those will all be coming out in an email to you before too long as well. So look forward to that in your mail. I understand the mail is slower nowadays. I just had a message from Terry. Hi, Terry, I see you're here. That I received a birthday card from her yesterday, and she said she can send mail to Ireland faster than she can Spruce Grove and Stony. So I don't know what that says for our system, but anyway, it got here. I'm happy. That's good. A couple classes I want to mention. I am having May 5th is a masculine card class, and May 26th is a fancy fold start card class. Well, can't talk. And again, a reminder that on May 29th is our stamping staycation that I do with Lillian and Joanne. So looking forward to that, working on it now, and lots of great things that we're going to do for that. So having said all of that, I just want to bring up one screen for you to see. If you don't know already, there is a clearance rack refresh happening today, started today, and it will carry on as long as there are products available. And I'm sure some of them will sell out quickly. I will show you when I turn down to my desktop, some of the prices on some of the designer paper is just unbelievable. So let's get started with that. I'm going to flip you over there now, make sure it's working. And I didn't check, but I saw that Bonnie and Terry found me, so I must be on here somewhere where you can see me. So my desktop. Sorry for the glare, still trying to work on the lighting system here. This is the card we will be making today. And as I mentioned, it is with Geared Up Garage stamp set. And that one, I have my catalog marked, so it won't take me too long, is regular $29 is now on for $26.10. And I did check that this morning, and it is still available. If you're interested in that, it's a great masculine card making stamp set. So we will be using that along with the Garage Gears dies that go with it, and they are also retiring. And they are on page 181 of the catalog. Regular $45 for $36. So look at all the deals, the dies you get, deals. Well, it's a good deal for that. So that will also be retiring, as well as I'm using the layering oval dies. They're on that page as well. They are retiring, but they're not on sale. So if you're looking for those, I've used these lots. And as you'll see in my card sample, they layer perfectly with the scallops around the regular oval shapes. So as I mentioned, let's just quickly have a look at the designer paper. You can find it on pages 148, 149, 150 of the current catalog. And anything in my catalog, yellow I have, orange is retiring. So this In Good Taste is not retiring, and it's a great set for fall, winter, masculine. I'll just hold them up a little bit closer so you can see. The Artistry Blooms is down from $15.75 to $12.60. The Flowers for Every Season down to $9.45. Forever Greenery, I've used lots and lots of this, down to $12.60. The Ornate Garden, which has a metallic component, gold foil, it's only $8. And I haven't not checked these to see if they're still available. So just to be aware of that. Peony Garden at $12.60. So some great deals there if you're looking for some designer paper. Let's get started. While you're waiting for me to set up, just thought today as I was scrambling again at lunchtime trying to figure out what to make for lunch, how be you put in the comments, what is your favorite go-to lunch product? Not product. Product is Stampin' Up. Your favorite go-to lunch food. I struggle, and that's been a struggle since, well, probably before COVID hit, but certainly since COVID hit. Don't know what to make, making more lunches at home than going out, and always looking for good ideas, new ideas. So please share with me. So this is the card. While you're doing that, I'll just explain a little bit about it. I am using silver foil, basic white, changed the name a while ago. Gray granite, no, basic gray. Gray granite is lighter. So the gray granite is what I used for stamping the exhaust on the back of here. And a punch here that is staying, I believe I'm correct. And a ribbon, just to give it a bit of sparkle there to go with the silver gears. So I have my regular 8.5 by 5.5 paper that I will score. No, not scoring. Did that already. Going to fold it in half and make our usual size card. Then I have 2 pieces of white, because obviously you can't write on the inside of black unless you've got a white pen. Maybe you could if you had a white gel pen. So one of those will go inside. And the other one is the one that I'm going to do a bit of stamping, do a bit of gluing before we put it all together. So the stamp I used for the back of there is out of that set, and it is exhaust as far as I'm concerned. And to make it a bit lighter, I used what we call stamping off. So inked it up in my gray granite, stamp off, and then on my background piece. And just to give it a little bit of dimension, more than anything, is what that's for. So that's all that I used the gray granite for. I stamped in black the car, and I have done a number of these cards, believe it or not, but I only have this one to show you because I've used them for birthdays. As I've mentioned various times, I do struggle with getting masculine cards out the door kind of thing. So when I find one I really like, I use it lots, and that's what happened with this one. I have done it with, if you stamp it with Versamark and do embossing, it works well. If you stamp just black on a red cardstock or a blue cardstock, it works well for that particular color. And there's a die to cut it out. So even with this size, I like to ink, whoa, shaking the table. Maybe I'll do it this way. Ink it from the back side. And I usually leave my lid upside like that so I can place it. And then just stamp, hold it for a count of 3, and you've got it. And so I'm not shaking the table anymore. I already have one of those cut out. I also have already done my gears, except that I see I have a piece that didn't pop out here. But it is easy to cut that. There's a center as well. I only ran it through the die cutting machine once that way, once back this way, and it worked well. So sorry, just trying to see that everything is working here. So I'm going to use that, but before I do anything more, I am going to add my piece of gray to the white and put my ribbon on. So I'm doing that with just liquid glue. It has become my go-to glue for sure. And again, it just gives, when you're looking at the card, it just gives a bit of dimension to what you're doing. I find no matter how careful I cut, I usually have something to trim off. That one looks not too bad. Then for my ribbon, I have glittered organdy ribbon. Maybe not think it's masculine really to put on this card, but it is the black I happen to have. So I'm going to just put that around there, and I'll try a glue dot. It's kind of a different material, this ribbon, and I'm hoping the glue dot will work. Take your pick tool, just rolled around the table. So we'll try it there. And over here as well. Not there. And with the glue dots, of course, if you need to rearrange your ribbon, you certainly can. Or loosen it. I have been known to put it on too tight because I don't want anything falling apart, and it would have to be taken off and come on again. So then we're ready to put that on the front. So tell me in the comments, if you would, what set are you most disappointed in that's being retired? I'm sure you've looked at them. Most of you have seen the retired list, the last chance list, whatever they call it, and realize that, oh my gosh, I have some of those sets that I have not used yet or used very much. And that was me with this one. When I first got it, I used it lots and lots and lots and lots. And like I say, I do have grandsons that are into cars and even little ones that like cars. So I did use it a lot to begin with, and then kind of got carried away with other sets, as I'm sure some of you have, and ended up with it on the back shelf. So like I mentioned earlier, the ovals, the scallop one, you have various sizes, but they cut so they just show a little bit on the back. I'm going to put this on before I put that on, obviously. I'm following my pattern right. Again, this would be a great one for your adhesive sheets to go on behind, but I did not do that. So I am going to try and get all my pieces out of here. Notice when you look at that closely, you can see where they're still left. So I'm just going to dab, hopefully, a little bit of glue around the larger spaces, and that will hold it on the card. And of course, the the car and, well, the greeting's not going over this, but the car is, and that will also help hold it in case the adhesive decides it's not going to stick like you want it. Again, because I do send out a lot of cards, I'm sure this one's not going to be in my birthday card basket for long because I need them and it will be on its way to the recipient. I did put this on with dimensionals, and I'm going to put the car on it first so I've got it in the right direction and location. And as I looked at it after I'd made it, I thought, oh, you know what, you could have colored the headlights yellow, you could have colored the tires with Wink Estella so they're shiny, as though you've put armor all on them or those kind of things. But for me, it was a quick, easy card that I wanted to share with you so that you know cards do not have to take hours and hours and hours to put together. I recently had a friend ask me if I could make 6 thank you cards. And of course I said yes. And as I was doing them, I thought, this would have been a great time to actually time how long it took me to make cards. Because I never do that. I don't know about you guys, but I need my words. I usually just make the card, and I could not tell you how long it takes to make. Do you guys ever do that? Do you time yourself and think, oh, that card took me 3 hours, or oh, that card took me 10 minutes? Tell me. Tell me, tell me, tell me. What, and maybe how do you do it? Do you find you can make a number of them just as quickly as not, as only making one, because you've got the system there? So for the, please leave me comments. And also, just to mention, anyone leaving comments, I do put your name in a draw for the card we're making today. I have got last week's card, the name drawn, and I will share that with you at the end. To do this black at the back, I punched out the same shape, just out of a piece of black, and that's using the tailored tag. And then, of course, with the words, I can punch them out. And you could with a long shank scissor, but I do not use my ribbon scissors on paper. You could cut it in half with that. I find something even as small as this, it's easy to just lay it in your paper trimmer. And for something like this, I would always bring my cutting blade down and go up because it's bumped up against the edge there. And that's close enough to being in half. It's not a half, I can see right now, but. And then I'm going to attach it with liquid glue for sure on this so that I can move it just top and bottom, and it gives that black edging to my greeting. So I think, and for this as well, if I'm sitting at my desk, I might do it down on the table, but for a lot of these kind of lining up things, I like to pick them up like that and just do that exactly. So do you have any tips yourself for how to get things, like I might have a little bit of extra glue over there, but of course, fingers, wet ones, let's do a little bit. So there is my greeting. It's going to go in amongst the muddy stuff. And again, I'm going to pop that up with dimensionals. Quite often I will add rhinestones, embellishments of some sort. And there were, when this set came out, there were some, I call them metal, but they look like metal embellishments, but I do not have any of those anymore. Should have put this on first by the looks of it. Because my car is down a little lower, but I think it will still work. And there we go. Oh, and of course, an inside layer. If you want to stamp on the inside, I know a number of you do, and partly because it adds to the word. I mean, it adds words for you, and you don't have to think of too much to say. I watched a TV show earlier today where the lady during COVID, she had written a card a day each month to whether it was a group of care workers, whether it was a group of family, whoever it was, and she wrote a card every day to that group of people. So it was a different card, different group every 30 days. And she was just saying how uplifting it was for her to be able to do that. So be sure and use your cards. They're lovely to make. They're lots of fun when we have all these kind of wonderful things to work with. But even more so if you can share them with sending them to somebody. It's great. I have to share a story from yesterday. I had a call from an unknown number, and I quite often don't answer those. But yesterday I thought, okay, I'll answer this and see what they want, because I've got a lot recently of, can we clean your furnace? That kind of thing. Anyway, this lady was very apologetic. She was confirmed she had me. A while ago, a number of us had been given an address and sent cards to a friend of ours who was going through a rough time. And we had, the number was incorrect. The address was incorrect it was 17 instead of 27. And this lady saved these cards and wanted to get them to the proper person. And I was able to track it down, figure it out and everything. I was just so tickled, and it made for a feel-good time for me to know that I'd been part of this. And when I talked to the lady who was supposed to get the cards, she was so thankful and was going over to pick them up because she knew where this person was. So anyway, it was just a feel-good story. So as you know, last week I had a birthday, and I always get so many beautiful cards and wishes from lots of various people, and I just want to share them with some of them with you. So here's one done with the hydrangea paper. This one is done with the ornate garden and lots of rhinestones. Love the sparkle in that one. This one, I turn it the right way up, the curvy dies, which are again retiring, so, and the little birds, and they're all colored beautifully. This one, isn't that neat? Look at the gems, the gilded gems on it, the sparkle paper. I know some of this has been retired, but it's still usable, very usable. This set, I believe, is retiring, or it may be retired, but more butterflies. One with the strawberries, which are carrying forward. Not sure about the brick. I think it might be retiring. This one's done with paper pumpkin kit. Aren't they great now that they have started doing so many more things? One of my girlfriends subscribes to the paper pumpkin, and she's saying how much she uses it. So another one with the strawberries and the swirls with Wink Costello on them. One with tulips. And now I can't remember for sure. I think the punch is carrying forward. I'm not sure about the stamp set. This one is one of the sets from Sale-A-Bration, but beautiful, just a half card kind of thing. I think that's called a Dutch door, if I remember correctly. This one, the Darling Donkeys, and I've seen this done many times. I've never done it, never made one with that. So we'll certainly be putting that on my radar to try. another one with a fancy fold, another one with butterflies, and this one, this is that butterfly paper that sold out so quickly, embossing on vellum. This one is one of those shutter cards. Just have to show you. So it's got the embellishment on the belly band and on the back where she wrote. And then when you open it, it opens like a shutter. Again, one that I've never made myself and never shown anyone how to make. So that one's on my radar. This one, those of you who were at staycation will recognize, but it's gorgeous, done in different papers again. So all the different, like a card in a card, love it. This one is done with glossy paper, stamped and stamped with not Versamark, StazOn over the glossy paper. And then others that are not from the Stampin' Up world, but just as beautiful. So I want to thank all of you for the cards and remembering my day. So I will switch you back to my face. Here I am. Hopefully you heard everything. Hopefully everything showed well. Going to keep trying this system and make sure if I can get it to work. So now I would like to share with you again the card that we made last week. I'll just hold it so you can see. It is that fold that we usually do this way, but I did put it together this way. And from the comments last week, I drew a name, and it is Diana. So I will be sending that off to you, Diana, in the next little while. I thank you for taking part. I thank you all for your comments, for sharing with me this wonderful journey that we're on with Stampin' Up, and all the card making, the crafting, those kind of things. It's just amazing. We have, as you probably remember, our Friday Zoom with Friends class, and we have gained so many wonderful friends through that. And we are gaining more and more each week. We love having you here. If you want to come, fine. If you don't want to come, don't have time to come, that's fine too. I usually record it and share it with the group. So please remember that. Take part if you can. And next week I will be same time, same place, I hope, for the good Lord willing. Anything doesn't happen in between. But remember, go check that clearance rack out and the last chance rack, and use what you have. Get things on sale now because soon they will be gone. Come the 3rd of May is the end of this catalog. So we don't want you to miss out on anything that you really wanted in there. So take care for now, and please comment, leave me comments, concerns, questions, anything like that that you want to leave, and I will get back to you. Take care.